Hello and welcome back to Saved by the Bellerin. The next part of my video analysing Granit Xhaka and his new role as the quarterback of Arsenal Football Club. In this episode I'm just going over and analysing how I feel he's improved defensively and how he's improved the team defensively in Mikel Arteta's new system. Hope you like it.
Under Unai Emery, Granit Xhaka was primarily used as a lone six, with a heavy burden on his shoulders defensively, with Lucas Torreira being used in a more advanced position. He had more ground to cover, and he was often exposed with his lack of agility when caught in midfield. Between December 26th against Bournemouth to March 7th, he covered 4,192 metres per game, on average. That dropped from an average of 4,808 per game between September 21st and December 25th. After adopting and sticking to the more traditional role of a holding midfielder, Granit Xhaka is now seen more of a quarterback down the left-hand side of Arsenal's team. With Xhaka having less ground to cover, there has been a decrease in his defensive workload. He averaged 10 defensive contributions per game since Mikel Arteta has taken over, where his peak was 14 at Burnley. Obviously, under Unai Emery, he was averaging 14.8 defensive contributions per game. His peak was at home to Spurs with 23, and it was all over the place, jumping between 8 and 17. The difference in his defensive contributions in games since December 28th is just 4, whereas beforehand it was 15 lowest. This of course comes down with the type of defensive work he is doing compared to earlier in the season, almost playing as a left-sided centre-back at times, rather than being rash and reckless jumping into 50-50s in the middle of the park. Granit Xhaka now takes a more selective approach to defending, like when teams break he either pushes up as a defensive unit, or he buys the time and intercepts a pass or cuts borders. In this position, Xhaka has also seen what he does with the ball reduced. His role under Arteta has been supply the left back and help the left-sided centre-back. This change has brought a delightful change in how he passes, as under Emery he had to supply those ahead of him. Whether it's clipping passes down the line, or pulling strikers away from David Luiz, or making key defensive plays, he has been a standout player under Mikel Arteta. And it wasn't a shock that Arteta indeed took a liking to Xhaka after glowing words from Guardiola and having the trust of Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery.
With strain and more direction, Granit Xhaka has adapted to Mikel Arteta's new system and his new role perfectly. He's come a long way since that fabled game against Crystal Palace at the Emirates. And that's that for my video on Granit Xhaka. There's going to be more to come from me, and you can find me on Twitter at Clayton_10, and more from the podcast Saved by the Bellerin, which you can also find on Twitter at SBTBPod for new weekly episodes. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos from me and the rest of the crew. Good night.